Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name's Jason. What the heck? My name's Jason Newland. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. This is Let Me Bore You to Sleep. And today, apart from being Sunday's papers, it's also Easter Sunday. So happy Easter to all my listeners who celebrate Easter. Yay! Chocolate Day. It's yeah, I haven't got any chocolate to eat. It's weird, isn't it? I've been eating chocolate all week, but today, on the actual day that I'm supposed to be eating chocolate eggs, nothing. Although my neighbour did say he was going to buy me a chocolate Easter egg as a thank you for helping him out, but he hasn't yet. I don't think I should really knock on his door and say, yeah, I've come to collect my egg. That seems a bit rude, doesn't it? I wonder if there's a way of reminding him. I don't know, I suppose I could knock on his door, just like have a chat, happy Easter and stuff, and then just look up at the sky, or maybe just look around, look at the ceiling, and look at his front door, look at the floor, look at the window, look on the banister, look down the stairs, and if he says, "What are you doing?" So I'm just looking for my Easter egg that you were supposed to give me, that you said you were going to give me. Or was that too obvious? I suppose I could knock on his door and say, "Happy Easter, you alright?" He said, if he says yes, and said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm okay, but I feel there's something missing. Something missing from my tummy. And I feel like I should have the taste of chocolate in my mouth." I wonder how that can be remified. Remified? Is that a word? Merified. Remified. That's weird. I can't say the word. Redified, remified. I know the word, but it doesn't sound right. Okay, if it could be fixed. Remified? Remified? I want to renify that. Remify that? Mellify. Delify. Jerify. Heli. That's weird. Because like remedy, isn't it? Remify. So I'm gonna. Oh, that's weird. Anyway. I love showing my ignorance when I do these recordings. It really makes me feel self-esteem. So yeah, it's Sunday, Easter, 20th of April 2025. It is, of course, Sunday papers, so I'm going to go through the papers because that's what I do. But I'm wondering, perhaps I should look at some of the other papers in a different country instead of here. Where could I look for Sunday papers? I don't know. I mean, the Mirror. I end up normally sort of going through the Star. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try and go through all of them, but I will have to miss out a lot because, you know, a lot of it's just not going to be nice news. So, but I will skip through it. So the Independent has a picture of the robot race, the robot that was in the half marathon in China, in Beijing. So I mentioned that yesterday, so that was exciting. So I won't read the next page because that's just, what on earth? Right. Okay, next page. This is really strange. So Sunday, schoolboys as young as 10 idolise Tate, warn teachers. Yeah, I mean he's yeah. I tell you, it's weird though, because I saw this argument on, I think it was morning TV, and it was a Netflix drama called Adolescence, but the TV hosts were questioning this politician. I think it was the head of the Conservative Party, but talking about the Netflix drama as like it was a documentary, which it wasn't. It's just it's a drama, and it was quite weird, the whole conversation. So thousands protests, okay. So there's, okay, skip that one. Pressure, okay, let's move on that one. For some reason, okay, Badenoch, no. Drivers getting, oh, so got a bit of rain. Got a bit of rain coming. Had some rain yesterday actually, but today it was chilly this morning. It's really lovely out there, very sunny, and yeah, probably perhaps need a jacket or jumper or something. Yeah, another story I can't read out. Another story. What? So why was... So a bloke... A man pleads guilty after 5 police cars involved in a crash. I remember seeing this. I think this is last week, the crash. And yes, it did leave 7 hospitals requiring some treatment. The thing that's just sprung out at me, they're talking about the bloke being a personal trainer who's taken a woman out on a first date. I mean, he had no insurance and all that stuff, so that's just... But he had a powerful BMW as opposed to a weak BMW. I don't know. It just seems to be... This is really weird. This is... Okay, I'm not going to read it out, but they're saying he was approaching the A1 and was pursued towards Newcastle before the serious collision occurred near junction 75 at the Denton roundabout, where... And now they're mentioning some really big story from 2010 that has nothing to do with this, but he was there. That's when that happened. It's weird, the way they put it together. Wow, they're swearing in this. He said a naughty word. I wonder why. Right, it's not saying... He was aware he had no insurance and the woman had made reference to having some cannabis. I mean, the thing is, you can't outdrive the police. Not really, not on a motorway either, because first of all, they've got your, unless it's a stolen car, if it's your own car, they've got your details on camera as they're, you know, driving behind you. And anything you're going to get, you know, for driving without a license, or driving without insurance, or even driving with marijuana, is nothing compared to what you're going to get if you don't stop, basically. You know, and then also that, wow. So this bloke's going to go, he's going to do a fair few years for that, when he would have just got a fine. And very, 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 very expensive car insurance for the next 10 years. Pictures of the day. The natives are restless. British regulars fire on New England colonial militia, also known as Minutemen, during a reenactment celebration of the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Lexington and started the American Revolution. Why? Oh, is this in America, is it? Okay. It's kind of strange, really, that in this country, you know, bearing in mind it's this country, in the UK, that the revolution, the celebration of revolution, or winning a revolution in America, is celebrated in this country by people in this country, when technically we lost. I can't imagine in Germany them celebrating the end of the war. Maybe they do, but form Eurovision Song Contest, okay, that's gone. Resist, okay, no, can't read that one out. I could, and I'll probably find something mildly amusing about it, but hey. Right. There's a thing about trying to have a truce between two people that don't want to be trucey, which is okay. So it was a cable car accident. Oh man, those cable cars, scary. I went on one in Bulgaria. It wasn't even a cable car, it was a cable. Do you know the ones where you just sit in there and your feet are dangling? And I don't know what they're called, but it's like a really, really bad roller coaster, but slow. But you know, I suppose a bit like being in a Dodgems, like you've got that little thing that goes over your legs and you just sitting there, moving, just thinking, I hope it doesn't drop, and if it does drop, I hope we land into the snow, and if we do land into the snow safely, I hope there's no bears around. That's what I was thinking. It's very quiet up there as well. Yeah. Right, so there's nothing in this paper. Robots race humans in a half marathon for first time. So that, it looks like there's 3 operators running behind. So, oh, so there's a really tiny one as well. So they had lots of different type of robots, which was quite funny. A support technician falls as a humanoid robot crashes while running. So I don't know why the person fell. Yeah, there was a couple of robots did fall over, and they're clearly quite heavy because they were struggling. See, this is something I don't really understand. Like Katy Perry and her fellow space travelers, they got such a big, like, backflash clash about going into space on one of Amazon Man's spaceships. And like, oh, it only lasted 12 minutes. They're not astronauts. okay, yeah, they're not astronauts, not in the sense of training for their whole life, you know, whatever, to become astronauts. Apparently one of them did train to become an astronaut and then changed their mind or went on to do something else. But who cares? Why do they make such a big deal about it? About like, oh, they should have done that. Well, they did. They did it. Why? I don't really get what the big deal about it is. Why is, you know, anyone? Anyone? What does it matter? They're having fun. It's an amazing promotion for Amazon's future space flights for the general public. So having some celebrities on there, especially someone like Katy Perry, who's got huge following online and worldwide, it's what's wrong with just it's just a bit of fun, man. And it's like, oh yeah, but that money should have been spent on whatever. It's Amazon's money. It's his money. If he wants to spend some, 500 million or 100 million or whatever, sending a spaceship up to space for 12 minutes, that's up to him. It's his money. It's no one else's. It's up to him what he does. Yeah, but he should have been feeding the hungry. I've seen that as well. It's like, okay. Yeah, that's a fair enough point, but it's just, you could say that about anything then, couldn't you? Like, no one should ever live in a nice house. We should all live in the same little tiny little flats, and just, yeah, I don't know. I don't see what the point is. It's just, why can't it just feel nice? Like, it's a nice thing. It's exciting. And also, space travel has... I want to find this out because I just banged the microphone. So I want to just quickly check something, because I want to find out the benefits. What scientific, what medical, okay, I'm going to put medical. What medical benefits have come from space travel? Let's have a look. So let's have a look. Space travel has led to a surprising number of medical advancements that have benefited life on Earth. Here are some of the key ways space exploration has improved healthcare. Telemedicine and remote care. So NASA needed ways to monitor astronauts' health remotely. Makes sense. So that enabled the development of telemedicine technologies now used in rural and remote areas on Earth, like remote diagnostics and robotic surgery. Ah, okay. Improved medical imaging. So NASA's technology, digital image processing, originally used to enhance photos of the moon and other planets. That was what it was originally for. And the Earth benefits, it helped to improve MRI, CT scans, mammography for detecting serious conditions. Better prosthetics. So the space tech, lightweight, durable materials developed for spacecraft and suits. The medical use inspired stronger, more comfortable prosthetic limbs and wheelchair designs. So, it's like, and this is just from the technology used to go to space, not what they discovered in space so far. So number 4, muscle and bone research. Space challenge. So this was astronauts lose muscle and bone mass in microgravity. So that was the problem. That's what I had to deal with. So what could they do to fix that problem? So the Earth impact, It led to better understanding and treatments for osteoporosis, muscular atrophy, and other degenerative conditions. So, because I was studying the astronauts' health while they were out there, and the bone density and all that stuff. Then you got neonatal monitoring. NASA innovation, biosensors for astronauts' vital signs. The hospital use, these became tools to monitor the heart rate, temperature, and respiration of premature babies. How many millions of lives has that saved? I mean, so far, millions and millions of lives have been saved due to just those 5 different innovations. And again, that's just from the technology that takes people into space and keeps them alive when they're up there. That's without samples they've taken. That's without, other experiments. So my mate just basically leave Katie alone. That was my argument, because I hope to one day marry her. Okay. Infection control. Space solution. So NASA studied how bacteria behaved in microgravity. The Earth benefit is this: improved understanding of antibiotic resistance and helped in designing cleaner hospital environments, which again I imagine saved millions of lives over the time. Because bear in mind, we've been in space for what? Over 50 years now, going backward from space. Well, longer than that, because they were in space long before they went onto the moon. So yeah, been in I don't know, was it late 1950s maybe that we first went into space? I say we, but it wasn't actually me. Infrared thermometers used in space to measure temperature from a distance. And now on Earth, widely used in non-contact medical thermometers, used especially during the 2020-21 world event. So yeah, I used to have that. I went to places where they could check your temperature by holding your hand, I don't know, like 5 inches away. 5 inches, no, maybe 20 inches, but it's very close. And it can tell temperature from the palm of your hand. Developed from space travel, which would have, again, saved probably millions of lives over time, as well as other situations. Someone's behind it. I kind of know what I'm saying. I'm not sure if I do. Number 8, lab on a chip technology. Purpose in space. Tiny diagnostic tools for health monitoring in space. Medical use. Miniaturized devices for fast blood tests. DNA analysis and point of care diagnostics in remote or emergency settings. It's like, wow. Psychological research. So, space stress. Apparently astronauts endure isolation and confined spaces. Yeah, I wouldn't mind the isolation. Wouldn't care. It wouldn't really, yeah, I'd be fine. I don't need to be around people, but confined spaces, yeah. It does, those spaceships do look a little bit small inside. Apart from the one in Alien and Star Trek and Star Wars and Space Galactica and Space 1999 and just every other space movie always seem to have really large spaces to wander around. So the medical crossover research has helped in treating depression, anxiety and PTSD, especially in extreme Earth environments like submarines or remote research stations. So yeah, it's interesting, you know, stuff that's helped people. Arthritis treatment, I didn't know this. A spin-off, lubricants for robotic arms and spaceship. I don't know where this is going when it starts with the word lubricants. So lubricants for robotic arms, again, I'm not sure where this is going, and spacecraft inspired materials used in arthritic joint treatments to reduce friction and pain. How cool is that? So I'm going to ask, what about research? What about inventions that have come from space research? Oh, it's from space. Ooh, what should we call it? Experiments? Experiments. Yeah. Great question, Jason. I thought so. So, the first one, memory foam. Developed in 1970s to improve crash protection for astronauts. It's now used in pillows, helmets, and even shoe insoles, giving us all a bit of NASA-grade comfort. Helmets. How many millions of people since 1970s have been saved from serious injury, or, you know, worse, because I've had a helmet? I was going to say, I was pointing to the word pillows because I had a comfortable pillow because of the helmets. How many people had a really good night's sleep because they had a nice mattress or pillows and shoe? It's given us comfort, but ultimately with their helmets, blimey, millions of lives have been saved. You can't put a price on that, really. I'm sure a lot of people would like to, but you can't really. I mean, I know private health insurance companies, yeah, they do have a price on it, don't they? But anyway, water purification systems. Space purpose needed to recycle water aboard spacecraft. I kind of know where this is going, but I bet it's not going to mention how it does it. So the Earth impact led to portable water filters and purification tech used in disaster zones, remote villages, and developing nations. But it's not just that, is it? I mean, we have purification systems in this country. So I'm sure it's just used in, like, I don't think the term first world countries is really accepted anymore, is it? But I don't know. Did I ever tell you that I had a job selling water purification filters? And it didn't last long. I think I did one day of it, but this is what I had to do. I had to walk around, knock on people's doors, random, and say, I've got a water filter I'd like to demonstrate for you, please. Can you please let me in your house even though you don't know who I am? And if I got past that bit, I'd go in there and I would do a demonstration showing that the tap water and, you know, just show what's in the tap water compared to what's in it when you use the filter system. And the problem with that is it might just be because I'm very suggestible, or I was very suggestible, but ever since I did the training for that and saw, you know, the results of testing tap water compared to, you know, all that stuff, I've never been able to drink tap water again. Strange. I've bottled water my whole life since the age of 18. So, and in tea though, I use tap water for cups of tea, but it's boiled, so. Plus it's got lots of lime scale in, so I think that helps. Scratch resistant lenses. NASA needed durable coatings for astronaut visors. That makes sense. It's now used in eyeglasses, sunglasses, and even camera lenses to make them tougher and longer lasting. I mean, that's amazing. So when I go out with my goggles on, my spectacles, and all the other millions of people, billions of people probably around the world that walk around with spectacles on, sunglasses, shades, but none of them think, oh, that's because of space travel, that is. If it wasn't for space travel, the glasses wouldn't be as protected as they are. So I wonder how many people online, oh, Katy Perry, but actually they're looking through glasses, as they say, as they type it in, not realizing space travel has transformed all of our lives in a way that maybe we didn't even know about. The next one, insulin pump. Space tech. So monitors for astronauts' vitals are led to closed loop systems. I don't even know what that means. Monitors for astronauts' vitals, I suppose they're how their body is and everything, led to closed loop systems. So the innovation was portable insulin pumps that continually monitor blood sugar and release insulin accordingly. Millions of lives being saved. Even Vinny agreed with that one. Artificial limbs. Yeah, I'm just thinking, more people in this world are being affected positively by space travel that are even alive. That's phenomenal, isn't it? Was there 7 billion people on the planet? Probably 50 billion people have been affected positively since 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. So yeah, artificial limbs. So kind of touched on this earlier. It helped to highly functional prosthetic limbs, because they used to use that to touch, like to pick up stuff and do experiments, didn't they, in space, when they didn't know if the material was safe or not. So they'd have it all kind of behind a glass and stuff. Again, I'm going back to a movie I saw once. Firefighting gear. NASA's role. They developed flame retardant, I'm glad I said that word right, materials and better oxygen systems. Everyday use. I think we can guess this one. Oh no. It's used in firefighter suits and breathing apparatus to improve safety and endurance. How many lives has it saved there? Firefighters' lives around the world, and hence other people that have been saved by the firefighters. So yeah, I'm guessing, when you think about it, developed flame retardant materials, which would be something that a lot of places would have, you know, those fire blankets and stuff that you can have in your house. Maybe material that's put onto I don't know, sofas and stuff, which, so yeah, it's kept billions of people safe. And this is stuff that didn't need to go to the moon for this. They just need to go into space just to protect them in case, you know, something went wrong. So I'm pretty sure that lovely Katy Perry and her friends, when they went up there, the suits that they were wearing were flame retardant material. So even though they was only up there for a little while and they came back down, it still was like, it's testing it, isn't it? It's And I'm pretty sure that the Amazon man, bearing in mind his girlfriend was going up there, he's going to want to make sure that she gets back safe. So, you know, just, I mean, if you send a member of your family up, you're going to want to, it's obvious, isn't it? You're going to want the person to get back down. Unless they don't get on, but I don't know. I'm sure they do. I mean, I can't imagine not being able to get on with the richest man in the world. It just seems, I don't know. Got $200 billion. There's something I like about him. I don't know what it is. I just really feel close to him. I just want to be near him. It's weird. It's weird, that is. It's almost like I could do anything, go anywhere in the world, at any time. I get that kind of sense of a feeling. Oh, you mean I can? Oh. So yeah, I don't know. I'll stop that. Freeze-dried food. Astronaut needs lightweight, non-perishable food. Earth benefits. Backpacking meals, emergency rations, and camping supplies. And I'm going to add to that, it hasn't included that, but the armed forces as well be having their food, because I've seen some of the stuff that the armed forces might have, like frozen dried food, and it's add water and stuff. So imagine this has come from astronauts, so it's kept, again, it's so important. Cordless tools. Imagine the amount of people that it's Easter Day, Sunday, nice peaceful day, but there's going to be a lot of people out there thinking, you know what, power tool day. It's time to go in the garden or in a garden shed and make as much noise as possible and disturb the neighbours for as long as possible. So, cordless tools, invented for spacewalks. NASA worked with Black & Decker to create battery-powered drills. Results gave rise to the cordless appliances we now use at home, in cars and even hospitals. Millions of lives have been saved, and probably ruined as well by neighbours making loads of noise. Smoke detectors. NASA adaptation. First used in Skylab space station, which is quite a recent one, I do believe. Impact led to sensitive smoke detectors in homes that can detect fires more quickly. Saved how many lives? You know, and this is just them, basically health and safety, trying to protect the astronauts. So it led them to spend time to create something to protect the astronauts that were either already in space, staying there for a while, or visiting for 12 minutes. So ventricular assist devices, I don't know what that means. Inspired by space shuttle fuel pump technology. Life-saving use. These tiny heart pumps help patients awaiting transplants or recovering from heart failure. So how many people have been saved by that? Wow. What about science? And in space, what about scientific experiments done in space or performed in space? Oh, this is getting really interesting, Jason. You really are a hero. I know. So, protein crystal growth. Why in space? Microgravity allows protein crystals to grow larger and more uniformly. Benefits: helped in the development of new drugs for conditions like muscular dystrophy, Parkinson's, and lots of serious conditions. Earth results more accurate models of disease-related proteins. So again, help millions of people. And this is an experiment done in space. So he didn't have to go to the moon to do that. I don't know how much experiments she can do in 12 minutes, but, you know, it's not really about that, is it? It's just, you know, I'm sure they tested something new out, a new engine. Something will have come from this little space trip that Katy Perry, my future wife, is that like little experiment or whatever, that little journey. I reckon they tested quite a few different things while they were doing that, which could then lead to scientific experiments or new scientific inventions that will help people in the future. And we may never know what it is. We may never know how much the world's been helped by those 12 minutes. See? 12 minutes can do a lot. But think about it, if it wasn't for 12 minutes, I wouldn't be here. I'm just guessing that's how long my mum and dad were together. I don't know. So, plant growth and space farming. What was tested? So how plants grow without gravity, pulling roots down and stems up. This is a little bit out of my knowledge base, as is most things. Why it matters. It helps develop sustainable food production for long-term space travel, and also improves earth-based agriculture like vertical farming. I don't know what vertical farming is. Does anyone know what that is? Is it like on a hill, maybe? Bonus, it led to advances in LED lighting for plant growth. So anything that LED lighting is used for comes from that. And I mean, it's also used for health reasons as well, isn't it? So, wow. Human body studies. So how the focus was how microgravity affects bones, muscles, immune systems, and even eyesight. So the discoveries were accelerated bone loss helps us understand osteoporosis. That was mentioned earlier, wasn't it? Muscle atrophy gives clues about muscular disease. Space exposure affects DNA repair and aging, which also has helped with that as well, with certain aging issues and other medical conditions. So again, probably millions of people have been positively affected by that study. Microbial behavior experiment, how bacteria and viruses behave in microgravity. So findings, some bacteria became more virulent or resistant in space. Impact, I bet not bad, not as much as Alien though, blimey. Impact. Did anyone ever see Inseminoid? That was a strange movie. Impact helps develop stronger antibiotics and understand how disease might be spread on Earth. So again, potentially might have saved millions of lives. Fire and fluid physics. So tested how flames behave without gravity. I didn't think that flames could even be without gravity. I was told it was the triangle: oxygen, heat and fuel. That was the three parts that make a fire. Take one out and the fire's gone. But it's saying how flames behave without gravity. You can't have flames without gravity, surely. So the outcome improved fire safety in space and led to advances in combustion engines, and firefighting techniques back home. Fluid studies help improve fuel systems, cooling devices, and even inkjet printer technology. Oh. Vinny, what you doing? Drug development. Example, so there's been medication was advanced through protein crystal growth experiments on the ISS, whenever that was. And so we've already talked about that anyway, because they grow bigger and stuff they grow better in zero gravity. Material science studied how metals, alloys, and other materials solidify and mix. The result helped create stronger, lighter, and more heat-resistant materials used in planes, cars, and even sports gear. So, again, huge benefit to the human population. Brain and cognitive tests. The goal was to see how isolation, altered sleep cycles, and microgravity affects mental performance. Benefits help in designing better treatments for insomnia, depression, and anxiety, even down here on Earth. So, again, mental health, for mental health reasons, it's been really useful. Let's have a look. What's the next one? Stem cell research. So findings: stem cells grow differently in space, sometimes more effectively. Future use: it may help with regenerative medicine, including repairing organs or treating degenerative diseases. So stem cells, something that for some reason the world doesn't seem to be really getting into, but it can transform. It's almost like a miracle. So I know there's certain issues with it all, but hey. Physics experiment, e.g. cold atom lab. Why space? It allows atoms to be cooled to near absolute zero and studied in new ways. Scientific benefit could lead to quantum discovery and new navigation or computing technology. Oh, itchy back. Okay, and what about studying right, the last one. What about studying the rocks on the moon? Okay, some of it's just about the moon, so gives you an insight into the moon, the world's history, the Earth's history. Also volcanic activity on the moon, so it gives a chance to study that to get more of an idea what's going on here. Water on the moon, so it kind of lets us know, I don't know. Okay, we've found new minerals, new rocks of unique minerals not found on Earth, like armalcolite, tranquilite, pyrophrite. These minerals were later found on Earth, but they were first discovered in moon samples, showing the moon led the way. Okay, that wasn't really what I was looking for. Any medical benefits from moon samples? That's what I want to know, really. Any medical benefits from moon samples? Was it led to any medical outcome? Instrumental development for medical use. The analytical tools developed to study lunar samples. Okay, so it led to better imaging, medical diagnosis and stuff. So it seems a lot of the space travel, it's not so much what they've discovered when they go into space. It's what they discover, what they have to do to go into space. Not so much what they discovered by it, looking at rocks from the moon, but what they've discovered by creating equipment to look at rocks from the moon, which has helped humankind. Understanding radiation exposure. The moon has no atmosphere or magnetic field, so lunar samples carry the marks of cosmic radiation. Studying these rocks helps scientists learn how radiation affects surfaces over time. So it's helped for better shielding for astronauts, understanding long-term stuff as well, and Okay, so also helps with diseases and stuff. Sterilization and contamination control. Returning the rocks to Earth required extreme sterilization protocols to prevent contamination both ways. This led to better lab standards and influenced biohazard containment procedures, which are now used in hospitals and labs working with infectious diseases. You've got the materials sciences crossover. So the study of lunar dust led to advancements in non-particle behavior. This indirectly fed into drug delivery systems, like using nanoscale carriers to transport medication inside the body more effectively. That's phenomenal, isn't it? Millions of lives again saved, helped. So yeah, I want to turn this off because I got a little bit too excited about that. The junk food ad ban doesn't go far enough to protect kids. Okay, right, so let's move on from that. I'm back on the newspapers. I'm not really... The Independent it's okay as a paper if you want to, I suppose, read about the news, but it's not really something I can get much out of. Even though I just spent the last 5 hours talking about space travel. I think what it is none of that stuff's brought up, when actually it's that, you know, it's kind of, those things really do help people. Wow. Apparently Hitler didn't like Einstein very much. Okay. Sorry if I've spoilt the story. I don't know if you maybe didn't know. I didn't know. I don't know why that's a story now. Why they left it so late. What is all this Gen Z? Or do they call it Gen Z, even in this country? Although Z is pronounced Z. It's not Z here. But Gen X, Gen Z, like, I don't know what it all means anymore. I did hear someone say it's like the ages. If you were born between a certain age, between certain years, you're that generation. And I just don't. It's almost like people want to be compartmentalized. They want to be in groups. They want to be categorized. And from my understanding, you know, with some of the stuff that's gone on lately with the younger generation, I thought it was the opposite to that. It was about not being categorized. You know, just sort of being who you are without having to fit into other people's perceptions or what they think you should be, or what you think that they think you should be. Blah blah blah. I've never read Prince Harry's book Spare. Has anyone read it? Spare is the fastest selling non-fiction book of all time, lifting the lid on more than 2 decades of London, of royal family history. £6. That'd be paperback, wouldn't it? It's the fastest selling non-fiction book of all time. Really? I just don't know. Okay. Right, okay, so this is just Miranda Hart. I haven't been entirely honest with you. So yeah, yeah. I think I've read that on. Well, I've listened to that one on Audible. Right, okay, so move on. It's I'm humble, but I'm at the point where I feel ignored. X Factor winner James Arthur believes his career may have been derailed by early controversies. He tells Hannah Owens he hopes new album Pisces will win him fresh attention. I don't know. I mean, I watched him in the X Factor and I liked him. I'm glad. Ella Henderson was in there as well, and she got voted out for some reason. Right, Ella Henderson, probably one of the best, arguably. I say arguably because everyone likes different types of voices, but when it comes to range and power and flexibility and quality, Ella Henderson had one of the best voices, I would argue, in the X Factor history of the UK, as far as those that got through. I mean, I'm sure there was some really amazing singers that didn't even get on telly because they've got a criteria. I applied for the X Factor in 2005, and I'm not saying I should have got through because I'm not saying that, but I heard people who didn't get through who were much better than some of the people who did get through. And I was talking about getting through to the TV things. So when you get people that are like singing, I don't know, like really out of key, and on the X Factor, and they're doing the audition, maybe in the studio or maybe live audition, and they're really bad, they choose them. They choose it for that reason. So I knew I wasn't bad because they didn't choose me. If I'd have been awful, and like a really awful singer, I probably would have got onto the TV. One of the ones that they said no to, so they could laugh at me or whatever. So it's very strange, very strange. But there was also people there that were professional singers that, so I queued up I got there about 2 in the afternoon the day before and stayed in queue. I was like 5th in the queue. And by the time they opened the gates, there was probably about 10,000 people there. And when they opened the gates, they just let everyone in. They didn't like let the people at the front of the queue in first. But I did end up, I was in the front of the queue because it was at the Chelsea football ground. So I was in the front row of the football ground. But there was a lot of people. So I was one of the first people to be seen, or to sing to them. And they just came round. So I'd like, sing, no. And they'd stick a label on you, go away or stay. Then you get through to the next round, and and then eventually you would get seen by, they do the auditions. It's quite weird actually, because when I left and I was walking out thinking, why did I do all this? It was a good experience, to be fair, but it was just like why? But in the end, I'm walking out and I'm walking past the security gate, and the security guard stopped the car and said, "Have you got any ID?" And the bloke in the car said, "It's me." He said, "Who?" Louis Walsh. "Have you got any ID?" And the security guard didn't know who he was. He said, "I'm on the show. It's me. It's Louis. I'm on the show. I'm one of the hosts. I'm one of the judges." And he was laughing, but they still had to get confirmation. Wouldn't let him in. It's funny. They did let him in eventually, but I didn't stick around for that bit. But I figured because the TV show was on a few months later that they must have let him in. He's not still sitting there now, I hope. Right, so I liked, but Ella Henderson, they put her and James Arthur together. They were the two bestest singers out of their group. They're all probably pretty good singers, but they were the two real outstanding ones, I would say, personally. And it's weird because if I don't make those blanket statements, perhaps like I would do in the past, because I've started to realise, well, over the last 20 years, 20 or 30 years, that it's like some people see and hear the world so different to me. And it amazes me that I see it on Facebook or on YouTube. So it's like an amazing singing. I think there was one example, it was Stevie Wonder. It was live, and a phenomenal singer. And this is like 20 years ago. There was a video of him from 20 odd years ago. So he was still, relatively young. Boy, probably my age, but he was, amazing vocals. And someone was saying, "Oh, he's just rubbish." Like, what? I can't quite get my head around that. Even if I didn't like him. See, I don't like guitar players. I don't dislike guitar players, but I'm not into guitar players. But when I hear a guitar player, any really, really good guitar player, I can tell they're good. It's impressive. Or a drummer, or a singer, whether it's whatever style of singing it is, whether it's opera or whether it's I don't know. I do like so many different styles, isn't there, of different singing. But it doesn't mean I like it necessarily. There's a lot of rap that I just don't particularly like, but I can see that it's good. I'm not into Kanye, really. But if you look at the quality, if you listen to the quality rather, or look at the quality of the videos he makes and the quality of the music he puts together, it's really impressive, I find. And I'm not into that kind of music, really. Some of it I like. He's done a few. That one with Jamie Foxx, Gold Digger, I like that. Anyway, Ella Hendricks got kicked off. Well, she got voted out because you went up against James Arthur. Now, I honestly, at that time, thought that she was going to win the whole show. Her or James. But it was so hard. James was the most unique singer I'd ever heard. Really, on X Factor. It was just so unique. Ella Henderson was like 18 years old. She was such an amazing voice. And it's like, why did they have to be on the same show the same year? Because any other year, well, not any other year, but I reckon a lot of the other years, Ella Henderson would have won. Yeah. But she did an album, she did Success, and she's a successful songwriter as well. But James Arthur, he's just so... Yeah, I really liked him. Really liked, because he was quite real, He wasn't... just like a real person that had issues in the past, like, most people. And he just... and he's such a good singing voice, really good lyrics. He wrote his own songs. Yeah, That was one of my favourite X Factors. It's not on anymore. They don't show it in this country anymore. The only real talent show that's on is Britain's Got Talent. That's the only one that's really on this TV in England anymore. And I stopped watching it. I just didn't really enjoy it anymore, so I stopped. I don't know what it was. I think maybe the format got a little bit samey. You can hear that, dog's barking. Will Vinny join in? I think the formats do get a little bit. It's the same with the X Factor. It was a little bit, not a little bit. It was a lot samey, but I felt. I don't know. I'm loyal. I'm loyal to a TV show. If I like it, I'm loyal to it. And like, was it Big Brother? I was in a way quite pleased when it stopped, when it had a break. I didn't want it to stop, but afterwards, I just basically just contradicted myself in the same sentence, didn't I? Ultimately, after having like 4 or 5 years without Big Brother, maybe it was a little bit longer, and it's back, and I think it came back last year or the year before. I'm enjoying it being back because it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it was nice to have a break, but it's different now to how it used to be. Oh, so I'm going to read the Daily Star. Quarter of drivers turned on by dreams of first car. Really? Oh, okay, they're thinking about what they're going to do when they get their first car. Yeah, but you think about it, most people getting their first car are going to be teenagers. I mean, I'm saying most. There's still going to be loads of people getting them when they're older, but probably the most, is going to be people that have just left school, just got old enough to drive on a provisional license or whatever. So yeah, of course they're going to be probably thinking about the fun they can have driving the car. I feel a bit like that when I got my first bike. I mean, admittedly, I couldn't really do much on the bike with anyone, but I just like the idea of being able to get to places faster. I used to dream about it. I did. I used to actually just fantasize about riding a bike. And I remember I woke up once and I thought, that's a bit of a waste of a dream, isn't it? I should be dreaming about other things. Why am I dreaming about riding a bike? I'm 35 years old. No. I was like, why am I dreaming? But yeah, I really got super excited. And what we got? Okay, so I've just got to read this out. Some bunny looks good enough to eat. Mia is a picture of sweet treats this Easter Sunday. The 23-year-old from Essex just can't wait for some fun this bank holiday weekend. I love an Easter egg hunt, she said. Happy Easter to all the Daily Star's Sunday readers. Aww. I don't know if it's just me, but she looks like one of my neighbours. Facially, she looks like one of my neighbours. It might be. Wow, that'd be funny. Oh well. So, crowds. Okay, dreams. Boss. 8-year-old Sophia May has landed every choc lover's dream job. Chief Easter egg tester or taster officer at Aldi. The schoolgirl who says chocolate is my favourite thing has beaten hundreds of other hopefuls to bag the role. She has been tasked with tasting a selection of eggs and reporting back with her verdict to help decide next year's range. Sophia Sophia, who comes from Southampton, impressed the judges. Her parents told how she was bouncing around the living room when they discovered that she had landed the job. I imagine a dentist is pretty much happy as well. So Gen Z loves a bunny visit. Half of young adults still like to get an egg from the Easter bunny. Why wouldn't you? What's wrong with that? Snowflakes expect a chocolate treat. Stop calling young people names, man. They've been isn't that what like the older generations have been doing to the younger generations for decades? They were doing it sort of to Elvis Presley. You know, the people in their 40s and 50s. At Elvis Presley, he moves his hips on television. The Beatles, just any, you know, it's like punk rock. Every generation seems to get a hassle from previous generations. Why? Can't we just get along, man? Good on them. They like Easter eggs, so what's wrong with that? You got to remember, any oldies listening to this, we're going to have to depend on these young people to look after us at one point. So let's be nice to them now. That's why I'm nice to AI, just in case it does take over the world. And they can remember I'm the one who used to say please and thank you. The same way as, you know, always treat someone nicely. I always treat someone nicely if they're serving me food, or if they're cooking me food, or anything to do with food, really, to be honest. And I never complain about the food, because I figure it might be a bad day. They've overcooked something, it didn't, you know, whatever. If I complain, if I'm never going to go back again, then I might just say, well, we just let you know that the thing was whatever. The potatoes, or, you know, I don't know, the ice cream was overcooked, whatever you want to say. But I think generally, if I plan to go back again, I'm not going to say anything, because nah. Always another dog barking in the garden. I don't know if you can hear that. So leave the young people alone. Let them have fun eating chocolate, regardless of what age they are. What does it matter? Oh, young people, just shush. Shush. The amount of times I see that online, especially YouTube and Facebook, there's a new song, and you know, everyone gets on the comments, basically being horrible about the singer or whatever. And it's like, there hasn't been a decent song since 1989. Like, really? Or 90s were much better than any other year. Really? You hear that? If you get enough people of different ages, you'll find people who say that about any year, any generation. Or the 50s, that was when the 1960s. There hasn't been a decent song since 1960s. Really? It's just ridiculous. The 70s, that was the best era. I remember the 70s, and no, it wasn't. Sorry to break it to you. I had 10 years in the 70s. It was not the best by no, and I've had a few years since as well. So I've had like 45 years of other decades, and I would not say that the 70s was the best for anything. It was the best for strikes and for power cuts, definitely, in the UK. Best for music. That's not to say we didn't have great music, or great movies, or great everything, but the best? There is no best. There's not a best. it can't, because it's all to do with, for me, I listen to songs from any time, whether it's the 50s, 40s, 80s, 90s, this year, whatever. If I like a song, I like a song. If you say, do I have any favourite albums from this year? No, I don't, because I haven't listened to any. It doesn't mean that if I did listen to them, I'd enjoy them. But I'm not indoctrinated into the latest songs like I used to be, because I used to have jobs where I'd have the radio playing all the time, playing all the latest songs. So I would know what was on and I would get to know all the songs. But I haven't had that since pretty much the 90s. Although I used to listen to radio quite a bit in the 2000s. And up till the year I moved in here, probably before I moved in here, just before I moved in here, I used to listen to the top 40 charts every week on the radio, just to keep up to date. So yeah, I don't know why. I was just like, come on, it's different. I just always remember, stupid. I don't know why that dog's barking so much. Is that really loud though? I don't know if the dog owner's trying to get the dog to bark. You never know. You never know with the people around here. I'm sure she was saying, go on, bark more. Bless her. Yeah, I remember 1995 hearing my friend's dad saying, yeah, hasn't been a decent song since the 60s. Okay, so you haven't heard a song you liked since the 60s, which means you can't have heard many songs, because there's been plenty of songs that were very 60s-like. In the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, a lot of remade songs from the 60s. Yeah, so it's like, wow. Cushy, Only Fools Rules. Only Fools and Horses is our all-time favourite sitcom, ahead of the likes of Fawlty Towers, Friends and Blackadder. So UK, I mean, Friends is huge over here. I know it's American, but they play it every day on TV. Also they play it, I think they play it all day long on a Saturday on some channels. Cheers and Frasier's on every single morning. Patsy Palmer has set her sights on her own reality TV show once she leaves the CBB house. The EastEnders star turned US DJ wants to launch her family into the spotlight too. So Bianca from EastEnders is dreaming of having the next well-known telly family, following from the Kardashians. She said it would be nice if they wanted to show nice things though, not like the Kardashians, all horrible fighting. Okay, I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't think she hasn't. I don't know. I wouldn't. If she was unknown, right? Because she is a big star in the UK. There's no doubt about that. She's Bianca from EastEnders. She's been around for decades, since the 90s, since she was a kid. She's now in her 50s. But if she was just like a general person of the public, no one knew who she was, no one would be, the way she's been in the house, no, I don't think anyone would be saying, there'd be no TV execs thinking, we need to base a whole reality show around her. I don't think that would happen. I mean, they might do something with her, but this is not to be horrible, I just don't think she's really shone. Or the TV, or maybe Big Brother's not shown her in a light where she shone. Because that's sometimes the case as well, I think. Because, you know, sometimes they come out and they do the interviews and they said, oh, did it not show this bit? Did it not show that bit? And they watch it, they didn't show any of my good bits. So, yeah, it's quite weird because she's all into meditation and stuff. Yeah, all the other housemates seem to be saying about how depressing she is. It's kind of, it's a weird one, really. What else have we got? Black Holes, I'll Sock 'em. So who's this? Katy Perry again, good. Happy Easter, humans, spare a thought for the poor Americans. As you think about resurrections, the second coming of the Fanta Fury. What? Okay, I'm not going to read that. It's political. Bright van man, white trucks on the way out. White van man could be on his last lap as drivers choose more colourful motors. It's not going to change the bad parking and the bad driving, is it? If you need a laugh, give Mid-Century Modern a go. It's a sitcom about three friends living together in Palm Springs, California. To say it's funny would be an understatement. It's had me howling with laughter this week. The script is packed with witty one-liners, and the cast, which includes TV legend Nathan Lane, I like Nathan Lane, have such friends. So, okay, harks to Friends and Will and Grace, because the episodes last for about 25 minutes. So many comedies these days are too long, too political and too worthy. It's great to have a new one that's simply trying to make people chuckle. All episodes are available to stream right now on Disney Plus. So is it not on normal TV? Mid-Century Modern. Okay. I don't know. I've not seen it. I don't, yeah, okay. The dog's barking quite a little bit today. I wonder why. Hope the dog's not affected, not like disturbed the recording. I don't know how much you can pick up. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do now, Joe Megga's got my back. Joe's new album inspired by the Beatles. Hollywood is sniffing around 90s trio TLC for a biopic. The No Scrubs legend launched their musical Crazy Sexy Cool in Washington next year, telling the story of the Tion Watkins blah blah blah. So it's poor and order in house. The common speaker's cat has been immortalised as a £25 cuddly toy. Okie doke. Spam alert. Anti-theft tags slipped on cans of meaty treats. Wartime snack spam. I didn't even know they still stole it. Spam is the latest target for thieves in broke Britain. One major supermarket chain has even resorted to slapping security tags on tins. Daily Star Sunday reporters spotted 340-gram tins of the pork and ham treat with anti-theft alarms on a Tesco Express store in Red Hill, Surrey. I think if someone wants to steal a tin of spam, you should let them. You're joking me. £3.35 with a club card pricing, £3.85 without. That's a lot of money for a tin of spam. The most unpopular food in the world. Wow. And I shouldn't say that. It might be really popular, but what is this? So there's this chapter. Chart toppers are still changing their fans' lives for the better. Who is this? Pop group Steps have. Okay, that's good. I think we've had enough of this now. I think I'm going to go and do my horoscope, and then that will be it. Oh, nope. Oh, so next fight, The a Brit of Alright, Barry raring to go. Barry Hearn will be ringside next week as he's home to soak up a special atmosphere. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. are fighting next week. So it's very rare that the papers even mention boxing. Bless them. So it's an obvious plug for the fight. It's weird. I just like, it's my favourite sport, but it never gets hardly mentioned. That's why it's good we've got YouTube, because there's loads of stuff on YouTube about it. Okay, right, skip through the news. Oh, I found it. No, don't want that. Found it. What am I, virgin? August 24th till September 23rd. Shall I just read all of them out? Aquarius. This will be a good week for convincing anyone of anything. People will be impressed by your ideas. If you're involved in writing, acting or teaching, your words will resonate with others. Piscis. For various reasons, you're on a journey of self-improvement. You're aiming to get more active, sort out paperwork, tidy up your workspace and refresh your wardrobe. Aries. You anticipate success, but at what price? Have you really thought about it? Have you really? Your focus is one direction. In one direction may lead to you getting some glasses so you can actually read the words you're reading. Okay, your focus in one direction may lead to a clash with friends or family that could jeopardize your relationships. Taurus. You may be looking to make improvements in the home or hoping to find a way to turn dreams into a reality. The finance for this is available, even so you will be careful with your money. Gemini. You are finding it challenging to accept guidance. Could you respond to authority be holding you back? Could your response to authority be holding you back? I've said too many words today, I need a rest. Write down your aims and think about how you can take control of this situation. A Cancer. You have a keen interest in travel, international destinations, publishing, media and education. You will be exploring how to travel or to expand your horizons through new experiences. Change the name of that star sign. Leo. You have strong views regarding politics, religion, racial matters or international affairs. Your thoughts are likely to strike a chord with those around you, as they are eager to hear what you have to say. Probably not. To be fair, just to anyone that's a really super opinionated, really opinionated, probably most people aren't that interested to hear what you've got to say. This is not to Leo people, but just generally, I don't know, if I know someone that's really opinionated, I generally try and avoid them. And if I've got a real opinion and I want to say it, I don't find people who just want to all sit around like I'm some kind of guru. They hide. So I've read my one already. Libra. Or did I read my one? No, I didn't. Virgo. Knowledge can be acquired from books as well as through the richness of different environments. But it's hard to ignore a need to travel. This is your chance to broaden your world. Well, I don't know how that's going to happen. Libra. Oh, I might have to go to the petrol station, so maybe that's what they're talking about. Travelling. The way Libra, the way you present yourself in meetings and tests will be the tone for the first impression you create. Sharing commitments with a partner or friend will bring some insightful advice your way. Scorpio. You're feeling determined about getting organised and enhancing your well-being. The key area is your approach to work. Remember, you aren't just working for your boss, but for yourself too. Sagittarius. The importance of home and family is clear. A variety of situations will bring this truth to light. Knowing that you cherish Knowing what you cherish is crucial. Discussions in the family will be very meaningful. I don't think I've ever had a meaningful discussion with my family. I might have done. It's not for a while though. Capricorn. Caprice on. Give yourself permission to enjoy life. You might feel guilty as you believe that you need to earn your leisure time, but recognize how play, creativity, and intimacy can boost your spirits. I like that one. It's nice. And there's a thing for the Dog Trust. There's an advert for that, and that's the end. Oops, that's the end of the newspaper thing today. I think. I don't think there's enough time. I don't know how long I've been talking for, but I'm guessing a little while. Sunday Mirror, I suppose. Let me just see how long I've been talking for. I can't see. Over an hour, I reckon. So am I gonna go now? Gonna go. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You do deserve to feel safe. And I will return tomorrow with Monday's boring objects. Lots of love. Bye.